LEGO Star Wars ships are often getting remade. The most iconic ones seem to always have some version of them on the shelves. Then there's the second tier that is cool enough to get multiple versions, but usually with a few years in between. That's where this set fits in, General Grievous' Starfighter. Just counting minifigure scale sets, we've gotten 3 different versions of this ship that appears for only a few minutes in Revenge of the Sith. The first came out in 2007, not that long after the film. The second came out in 2010 and was tied to the Clone Wars series, where it made several appearances. The most recent version is this one. It was released in 2020, retailed for $79.99, and contains 487 pieces. It features the ship itself and 3 minifigures. Now before we get any further, I have to say, $79.99 for this number of pieces of minifigures does seem a bit extreme. Now I've always loved the design of this ship. It reminds me a little of a World War II fighter plane crossed with a starship and a bit of a classic hot rod thrown in there as well. And I think the designer captured that aesthetic in bricks very well. It's a pretty good build with a nice color scheme, mostly grays with some gold highlights, and this tan and dark orange striping across the middle. The cockpit is set far back and slides open, which I think is one of the coolest parts of this build. There are some printed wedges in there, and these pieces with handles that make up the controls like 2 joysticks, which I think is pretty ingenious. Grievous himself fits nicely inside as well. On the rear, the tail tilts into place, allowing it to land in the extended position and upright for flying, or if you prefer to display it sitting flat like this. Now each side has this big engine piece, which are just mirrored. There is some detailing with the gold grille pieces and the round wheel hidden up front here, but the coolest part of these engine builds has got to be the hidden sliding door. Each side has this door that slides back to reveal a compartment for lightsaber storage. They clip closed, so there's very little chance that they're going to just pop open, and they really blend right in, so when they're closed, they're almost invisible. On top, we have 2 stud shooters. I'm usually not a big fan of just slapping stud shooters onto these vehicles, but these are okay. Underneath, there is another firing mechanism, which launches one of these missiles. It's centered nicely, and this piece to fire it is aligned with where you might hold the ship if you were swishing it around. Now with this ship we get 3 minifigures, one of which is exclusive to it. The first is General Grievous. He's included in several sets and comes with 4 lightsabers. Next we have Obi-Wan Kenobi. He has torso and leg printing and rear torso printing. He also has a dual printed head with a hello there face and an angry face. Now I'd be remiss if I didn't say that this is also the Obi-Wan included in the Mustafar duel set, and you can clearly see the burns on his clothes. So I just don't know why LEGO included this torso, aside from the fact that the Mustafar set came out just before this and they were recycling torso prints. It's a little frustrating, especially since we got a pretty good figure a few years earlier in the wheel bike set. Finally, we have an Utapau Airborne Trooper, which is exclusive to the set. He has torso and leg printing and rear torso printing as well. He comes with this special helmet and a cloth kama. Now this is the second Utapau Airborne Trooper we've gotten. Both share the same helmet, but as you can see, the print has been redesigned and I think it's a huge upgrade. Now the old Trooper had an orange arm, and this new one just white. They could have done more to represent the pauldron on the new figure, but if it's between the orange arm and the white one, I think I'll choose the plain white arm. Additionally, the inclusion of the dark gray kama sets this one apart, and since the figure is exclusive to the set, he's definitely the standout. Overall, this set has a great design, and it's a fun build. The ship is a good size and still very swishable. 2 of the minifigures are okay, but the Airborne Trooper is really great. So what do you think? Do you have this set or do you want to get it? Hit me up in the comments and let me know. I have more videos planned, so please be sure to hit subscribe and turn on notifications to see when those are released. Thanks for hopping on the bandwagon today, and remember, when you're building with bricks, anything is possible.